see there are some views there, but I had to take away the echo. Sorry. So I see there are some viewers out there, guys. I use the song list. I use the song list to, for all the triggers. For the triggers and also for tarot readings and all that good stuff. So you can just click on tarot, and they do go by a tiny donation usually, unless you're a sub. But the universe wrote your postcard, that's always free, just so you know, guys. And everything else is pretty self-explanatory. I won't be doing songs today. I'm not really a musician. I just do that when my roommate is not home and when I'm in the mood, which is not often lately, but it's mostly because I'm busy doing all kinds of other stuff. Between being sick and trying to feel better, I also do other things. That's why I work a lot when I'm not sick, actually. It's because I try and make up for those days I can't do much about things. It's still a lot better than it used to be before. I'm still doing better than my previous life. Oh, okay. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna try and find it because I'm more on with technology. As most people already know that by now. I'm not that smart, that's what I should say. Instead of intensifying my moronic streak. But hey, a few years ago I didn't even know how to stream, so it's all good. It's all good. I'm getting there slowly. Better slow than never, they say. Oh, so there's a bunch of people who are on right now, guys, that I usually shout out for. I'm just a little tired right now. I wanna sort of chill out and yeah, hang in here, but I will do some shoutouts in a bit. Nyali Music is doing great right now, though I see most people didn't stay there, which sucks. But I guess most people go on streams. Oh, GARGOYS is on. Hey, I didn't see him on when we were about to raid, it's too bad. By the way, if you don't know about Darth, I should GARGOYS do what I did. This is the shit I do, man. It's okay when I do it in my stream. I don't care. You too, have a great day. Oh man. Yeah, Discord is no worse for me. I had a hard time getting around Discord. Better now, but I learned it took forever. If you guys haven't checked the doors, go check him out. He streams. Well, sometimes he streams later. That's when I catch him actually. Or he come up at oddly hours in the morning. Sometimes I wake up super early. But yeah, he's great as well. There's not enough time in the day to watch everybody I like. I do my best. Between looking for a job and doing all the other stuff. it becomes a bit cumbersome sometimes. Thank God I got no kids, guys. It was like some of my friends who on top of it have kids. Really? You must become a superhero, a new breed, I don't know. Because I can't do as much. I'm a workhorse when I'm not sick, but unfortunately, it depends on the time. I notice when it rains a lot outside, it must be all those lovely chemicals that keep spraying everywhere, you know? The acid rain, that makes sense. I always feel like shit when it rains, and it's not as bad as it used to be, but I still feel like crap. It's like, you know, you go out and it smells really bad sometimes. Yeah, it's definitely chemicals. But also it's long-term issues. Since I was born, it sucks. But yeah. Let's say if I was born during the wrong time, they would have probably killed me. I would have been one of their bonfire people. That's okay. At least Twitch just shadow bans me, generally speaking. They don't kill me. They just. Here, let us hide you. But for some reason, I have some viewers. Even on my other channel, some viewers appeared all of a sudden. I think someone is trying to help me or something. Which is very appreciated, by the way, guys. It would be nice to finally get to partner myself and do something more with the stream that I invested so much money and time in, and has really given tiny bits of nothingness back. But I met a few good people, and that's a good thing. Through the stream, so that's nice. I just don't get to hang out much with anybody really. I'm usually on my own. It's fun. It's peaceful. The frou-frou is upside down now with her belly. She always enjoys, if I listen to relaxing streams, music-wise, and anything that is really chill, the dogs just, especially the frou-frou, she loves it. She's so cute. My frou-frou dog. I'm a frou-frou. It's not my fault, guys. I'm very adorable. My name is frou-frou. And I'm a cute dog. Most of the times I don't bark. Sometimes I do. No, you're a pretty good dog, usually, frou-frou. You're not a big dog. Alright, guys. Yeah, Arcade Jazz is hilarious. Oh my god, he's so funny. In fact, I almost regret having started the stream. It's okay, I'll probably keep it going for better than if any of the people in the chat want any trigger, and like I see people there, so there are actual people. But, if you guys want to request a different trigger or have a tarot reading, just use the song list. It's super easy. That's why I created it actually. It's because it's just so easy and everything is in alphabetical order, so I don't have to do it myself, which is awesome. I think I need a mess with the emotes. No, maybe I did it right. Yesterday I had a big update and I was streaming on the other channel and my prompts weren't working, so I was trying to fix them and I sort of made something wonky in doing so. But I think I fixed it. I have too many scenes, so when I have to fix something it takes forever because of all the different scenes I have. I am organizing everything. just takes forever. For me anyway. But yeah, I needed some change. I don't remember when I streamed here the last time actually. It must have been a few days. Let me check. 5 days ago, yeah. That was a long time. It was another pretty empty stream with nobody. Oh, I think it might have been, was it my birthday or was it after my birthday? Oh, it was after. Yeah, my birthday stream got, what, 4 views? It's pretty sad. 40, not 4, so pretty sad. It must be one of the biggest underperformers on Twitch. And any other platform really. YouTube really hates me, of course, because I expose all their lies, but they hate real truthers and God, they shadow ban me like nothing else, no matter what content I put out. And also, of course, I don't know all their little gimmicks to get the stuff up there, but I see a lot of shit content getting a lot of views, but, you know, they don't expose the truth about from a shit care and all the other stuff, of course. As long as you are a follower of the cult and the mainstream propaganda, they will definitely share your stream. But if you speak the truth, you're on your own, baby. You're on your own. I'm sorry, I'll never sell out just to have a followage and people. It takes a lot longer to get your soul back than to actually. I'd rather leave money, FIFA money poor than sell my soul to the devil. Thanks. But, you know, when you're on the internet, it's the land of the devil, so if you don't promote the devil somehow, the devil doesn't allow you to become really big. Of course, there are those who say that, you know, they are big because they are here to make the world better. Ralph Smart. It's one of them. I always laugh so much. Because when I started streaming on YouTube, and YouTube really likes to push mainstream propaganda like no one else. And Ralph Smart would always appear, so I checked him out, and of course I observed him for long enough, and then I was like, yeah, he's totally a shield. Pretty easy to see. But, you know, they'll do anything to come across as the real deal, right? No, we're here to lead you into the light. Sure you are. I love it when people say they're spiritual. It's like the devil is spiritual too. It doesn't really mean shit. But, you know, that's English, and Italian is the same. You can totally use them for double talk very well. That's partially why I like these languages. It's because they're fun, but I also get annoyed sometimes with double talk. I think it's pretty sad. Right, Frufro? Yeah, say what you mean and mean what you say, damn it. Stop lying. Do you need to go out? This dog spends hours sleeping on the couch. And this morning we were listening to a music concert. So that she loves them, and she's always sleeping belly up, and she looks like a much bigger version of their dog, just she's black and her head is bigger, but she's very much like that puppy, you know, fluffy tail, very chill, very sleepy, and yeah, unlike Flacco though, she is very independent, so she doesn't need to be in the same room with you all the time, but as of late, she really follows me everywhere, so I think she's enjoying it more. But she's always been kind of like, oh, I'm fine, and, my own sort of kind of dog. Well, the other one, she always needs to be with you or someone, otherwise she feels very lonely. My other doggy, she's a herding dog and she really likes to be together. She's so cute. I love you, puppies. They're very nice dogs, generally speaking. Yeah, I know many dog owners and pet owners generally like to make up voices for their animals. I know I'm not the only one. Definitely not the only one. Right, Google? She just makes me want to sleep, honestly. Like, I almost feel like I want to go back to sleep right now, guys. Anyway, I'm going to, violin. Glorfindel is also on. He's so good on violin. Like, there's so many really good stringers that are overlooked, and it's really sad to watch, to be honest. I find it so sad. But this is the world we live in. That's why I'm so happy when once in a while you see a good one emerge, I really need to find a way to be faster when I do this, but he's great. He's really great. And of course you have to like violin, and I like a lot of classical music myself. But like I love when you play Darth, you're so good at it. You, Arca, like it's just so wonderful to watch you play. I look at the fingers when you guys play, and it's a form of learning and rewiring the brain actually. Because then I want to play instruments just to rewire my brain and heal it from all the shit that I went through in my life. And when I was young, right, I was too young. I was a baby, so it's not like I could do much about it. And it wasn't my parents that did a lot of it, but they were a little bit a part of it too, but not with the pedal or anything. They didn't. But just my brain got damaged over time. I'm sure when I almost suffocated, I wasn't very good for it, for example. Or, the many times I rolled down the stairs by mistake because I fell, or when I fell off the toilet on my head, there are a few things. I literally banged my head too many times. My brain is probably atrophied, so I wouldn't be surprised. The migraines really did it most of my life. But that's why, for me, it's not difficult most of the times to be good. Like, I was bad last weekend, and in 3 days, I had a pie. And then, of course, this week I got really sick for a couple of days. My hormones were like, fuck you, like, did you do that? Because I'm human, and sometimes I want to have crap too, But yeah, it was a bit too much, but nobody was going to eat the pie, and I didn't want to throw it out, to be honest. And that's why I don't buy stuff like that, because otherwise I force myself to eat it, and it's worse. I guess I could just give it to the rats outside, right, for fun. Give them some toothache, poor bastards. I guess bastards is another bad word, guys. I had a British boyfriend at some point, and he called everyone bastard. It was like his word, and sometimes it comes back inside of me, I guess. It's okay. It's okay. Once in a while, we say a bad word. not as much as before. When I was a baby, I was like 2, 3, I was in kindergarten, and because I grew up around people who were swearing all the time. In Italy it's kind of normal, but these people were like really swearing a lot. And my dad's ex-partner and my dad, they were both super always swearing. And of course I was 2 or 3 years old at the nuns, and I would swear like a sailor. And I didn't know what I was saying, right? And so the nuns talked to my parents, and they were trying to blame me. And the nuns were like, well, she hears I'm from somewhere. You may not want to swear around your children. And then when when I got home and stuff, then they basically told us not to swear, that they could say the swear words, but we couldn't. Yeah, that never works with kids, right? Lead by example for a reason. And of course, then my act of rebellion as a female was to swear a lot, because in Italy, males can swear, but females, it looks bad on a woman, while on a man it looks so macho, right? So I was the rebel, obviously, and I had to right every wrong they did. But now, I'm telling that part of me that likes to swear when I'm triggered. The pedo used to swear a lot. You want to be like the pedo? And that's been working. It's not that's bad. It's fine to say a swear word. Every now and then it has its place. It's actually a coaching device that is well used and known. But I really, I'm trying to just clean it out, because there's lots of kids, and I don't think it's a good thing to teach them to swear a lot. It kind of loses its power too when you overuse stuff like that. So yeah, use it wisely. Sometimes it's powerful. Like Tony Robbins, he uses that, right? He's pretty famous. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Tony Robbins myself, in the sense that I'm pretty sure the dude has done all kinds of bad drugs and still is, so they want to teach people about how to be happy and all this shit, but then, they do coke and all kind of crap to keep themselves happy. So to me it's like, lead by example. But on the other side, I mean, he does have 5,000 people workshops, or insane workshops already at. So I guess he needed some extra juice. I don't know. I could never do drugs really, because I had so many health issues. So I don't relate much to that. I always had too much energy, and my nervous system was going overdrive, and then I need a lot of calm. So that's why I got into the ASMR, because I don't like the erotica, all that stupid shit that people do, the ear licking, all that crap. I find it disgusting, to be honest. That's not ASMR to me. I like the real stuff, and I love ambience. That's why I do this kind, because it actually works better on me. But what I'm working on right now is trying to clean the sound further, and it's hard because I am in a kitchen / living room where I work. So I put a bunch of filters on and stuff, but yeah, I just want to get a cleaner sound from my system and see if I can get better at it. It'd be nice. I can't really do just the one kind. That's why I force myself on the other channel, because I really I like to push my boundaries a little. It helps me. But if I don't focus even on the other channel, I'll start doing a concert like I do here a lot. I tend to have lots of loops going at the same time. I like to DJ them, and what can I say? The Ride of the Valkyries is one of my favorite pieces. Always has been since I was a little kid, so that's what relaxes my brain. Lots of that, lots of different tracks going at the same time to follow. I find it funny that I can't play. I haven't played much in my life, and especially when I was younger. I like to play the melodica. I had this melodica that was a child's melodica, and I played it so much. But my parents and nobody around me cared about art. they liked art, but they didn't care about doing anything. So I was the only one who was always drawing. I was always doing something. But they didn't push me into it. They just basically tried to eradicate it from my system in a way, because, you know, it was just a pain in the ass to them. Like my mom, one day we were talking a couple of years back, and she was like, yeah, you used to bring me all this stuff. Like I had piles and piles of your drawings, you know, and she was almost annoyed by it. It's like, jeez, are you really my mom? I thought I was adopted when I was a kid, so because of how they treated my brother and how they treated me. Even though, of course, if you talk to them, you know, they treated us the same. But sure, I didn't feel like it. But I wasn't the firstborn, and I wasn't as cute, you know. So I'm doing it now. I'm doing all the stuff that I didn't do before now. Screw it. Right, Frufu?
Yes, until you die.
Yeah, who knows when that's gonna happen, right?
Not soon enough. Not soon enough, Mama.
My thing is having issues again. I think there is a contact in my headphones. I have a backup, but I was trying to keep this going for a bit longer. When I use my backups, I usually like to buy another backup, so I always have a backup of the stuff I use, just in case. Because a long time ago, whenever the keyboard or the mouse or anything broke, it was in a weekend and we didn't have access to new stuff. So then I learned to just get a backup of it. Very boring stuff. Oh, anyway, I'm going to just chill out and listen, and if you guys have any requests, again, song list, it's in the title, so it should be pretty easy to find, and other than that, enjoy the sounds, hopefully. I don't know, it sounds different. I was trying to figure out. I moved the dials a little bit because I was playing with settings yesterday when I was doing ASMR. Now it sounds funny, but I'll fix it. I'll figure it out. It's probably one of the dials I'm not looking at right now. But I can still do this. Love it when I do that. It sounds like aliens coming down. And then of course, I think I put it in this song list too. Let me check. I mean, it's the SMR should be. Yeah, I did. Okay, let's see if you can guess with this. By the way, I'm not using it, but. Now I wanna go and use it. I have one just for the ASMR actually that I don't use. It's a smaller one. My friend gave that to me. This is a bigger one. They're not very huge, but they're glass. They look like vases when you put them in the right way. They are pretty. But I like blown glass. Murano in Italy is famous for it. And they have a lot of this stuff here in Canada too. They like it, so I actually love how they look. They look so pretty. I don't like the plastic ones really as much. I know they don't break. Yeah, what I'm trying to achieve is not feeling sick anymore at all. Like I hate when, like last week I was sick and it just came on all of a sudden. I was just really dizzy and I had to lie down basically. I couldn't even be on my computer because I felt so sick. And it's just my whole life and I'm sick of it. Some days it's like, alright, I've done so much to change, but of course, don't eat a whole pie in 3 days, maybe. Yes. I have friends who eat whatever and they're never freaking sick. Sure, one day will be sick, they'll probably pass on. Like my father, he was never sick and then he got sick. 10 months later he died, so we were, dark joking about how is it better to never be sick and then when you get sick you just die, or is it better to always be sickly? And like my mom was always sickly, but she's still alive and she's much older than when my dad died. But my dad was always very impatient with us, and then when he got sick finally he said, oh, now I know what you went through. And we're like, well, you couldn't imagine it by looking at my face and how shitty I look. It was so obvious that, we were sick, right? But I guess when people have never experienced constant pain, they don't know what it really does to you. And, everything really, it just feels so bad. So I said to him, it's too bad you had to get sick to be there. It sucks. I don't know. It's never pleasant to see people suffer, even when they're jerks to you. It just doesn't take away your own pain, Frou-frou. Listen, there's not much going on here. And I don't think anybody wants a trigger, and if they do, they can always ask for it later. But you want to go outside? I can open the door. Someone must have been promoting me or something. But it's just so weird, nobody's saying anything. Not even hello. Hello. What's up? Oh, there's another accordion. The least aquarium. There's some streams I need to check out. I saved them, but I haven't had time. Oh, Serene is on to full Quran. I always used to read folk Lord. Dyslexia. I don't really have dyslexia, but every now and then, if I'm around people who have dyslexia, then I start being dyslexic too. It's hilarious. I always assume that the issues around me or the skills too sometimes. So that's why I try to be around Italian people. Maybe there is a chance. Oh, and I was checking out Liz KTV. Someone actually gave me sub on the other channel, I think, and they're pretty good. We rated them with All Music Concert sometime. Probably last stream I was there. This E-guy is on. What is he doing? Microsoft. It brings me back to memories when I used to study German. I studied German for 8 years and I don't know German anymore. I mean, I never knew German, like a real German, but I could speak it. I could speak. But now, forget it. I just, when I read it, I'm like, yeah, I know some words, but honestly, it's pretty sad. Same thing with French. I look at French and I'm like, yeah, those French, Italian, so similar, but it can be deceiving sometimes. And so I like listening to Mia's music because she speaks French. And I don't care if it's from, like, she speaks French from France. From Quebec, this like old French. I had some friends who, well, friends, quote unquote, who were from, they just came from France and they were in Quebec and they were like, oh, you don't speak French. I was like, well, it's old French, it is French, it's just not modern French. But they were so snobbish about it. I was like, okay, whatever. It's almost like Northern Italians and Southern Italians, they can be like that with each other. And I'm from the North, and Verona, people from Verona are so racist with other Southern Italians. They have their own points on certain things, but not the racism stuff. It's more to do with the politics they have there. But I always thought it was so stupid. It's like such a tiny place, you know, so divided. People have no idea. The rivalries they have. I want none of it. In fact, here I met more Southern Italian. They were actually nice. So Northern Italians sometimes can be real treats. Let's put it that way. Where I'm from, they work a lot and they pay taxes for the rest of Italy. It's one of the regions where, you know, they get really abused in a way. And so, yeah, that's why they have beef a lot. But it's not true that everybody, you know, like, they have this thing, oh, in the South they don't do anything, blah, blah, blah. It's not true, it's just, it depends on the people. And it's so mixed. I find it interesting, but at the same time, yeah, it can be complicated to live there. So that's why I'm happier here myself. I miss certain things about Italy, yes, but I prefer nature and quiet, so, and an easier life. Like there are no dryers. It costs too much to run dryers. I love using the dryer. I hate hanging clothes on the clothesline and then especially with this kind of weather, they will smell because they take forever to dry. Yeah, I never liked that. So there are things that I'm happier about here. Pizza doesn't taste as good. Coffee doesn't taste as good. I don't know why, but it's true. It's just not as good. However, you know, what are you gonna do about it? I still prefer being here than there. It's too much of an exercise in patience for me to be there. But I don't think I want to stay in Canada. I'm just waiting because, you know, they can't make their citizens, all these corrupt countries, they can't impose the vaccine on us, right? But they are still imposing it if you move there as a foreigner. So that's why I'm not traveling, I'm not doing anything, also because of that, not just lack of money, but I'm never going to get a vaccine inside of me again. Sorry, not for me. And say what you want, but in my books, I've only felt better without any of that shit, so I'm going with what works for me. And I definitely stay social distancing from anyone, especially if they got vaccinated. Please don't come near me. So I'm all for that. Just stay the fuck away. But I'm never gonna get that shit inside of my body ever again, so sorry. I guess I'll just go live on a mountain on my own with dogs. So let's see how much longer they try and push this farce, and let's see how many people need to croak before they get it, you know. And they hop on my train and say, no. Thank you, Fauci, but no thank you. That's my answer to all of it. Thanks, but no thanks. Yeah. When we moved here, they made us get a bunch of vaccinations, and I wasn't feeling well for years and years after that. And ever since we moved, it was like 25 years now, I have not taken anything, so I finally am also feeling better, most likely because of that. And about 5 years ago, I stopped even using Advil, which was the only thing I was still using because of the migraines. And I haven't used Western Pharma poop care, as I call it, for many years, and I only feel better. So they can talk to me about how scientific it is, but it's not in my books. And for what I observed in my life, all the people who follow that bullshit are dead now and died badly. And all the people in my family that didn't and went natural and did what Dr. Robert Morse says, you know, or the Macrobiotic Institute, they're all still alive and doing well. So the writing is on the wall for me. It's not much of a brainer. And I don't really care what people believe in, particularly, like, do what works for you. Just, I really wish they stopped trying to impose that bullshit on everybody else. Sorry, some of us do real research and we know better than trusting Fauci. Fauci. You know Fauci means Jaws in Italian, right? No by chance, guys, no by chance. Yep, and recently YouTube actually decided to give a warning on one of my channels because I was talking about this stuff. They're trying to label our own personal opinion, experience, and, you know, real science as misinformation because it doesn't go along with their bullshit. It's pretty pathetic, actually. Oh, I forgot I have 5 subs on this channel. I was like, oh, that's miscounted. No, actually, because Alan gave away some subs for my birthday. My birthday was so, like, such a lonely stream, my birthday stream. the you can really tell how much I'm cared for. I did have 2 streamers sing out happy birthday to me though, so it was still better than last year. And All Music Concerters sent me a cup, and I needed a cup for my props. I needed a big sturdy cup for my some of the ASMR props and the pens I use, and I showed them, and it's like I see it every day, so I'm also sure it doesn't get broken there. Because every now and then, I use cups with the lid when I drink because of my little spillage issues sometimes. I have spastic movements on occasion. It's all to do with the migraines. It's quite unbelievable how much your body gets affected overall. So I started using this cups. They look like, the cups you get at to-go cup, basically. But they are a proper cup, and they have those silicone tops. And I really like them because they're easy for me to hold. Like when I had psoriasis on my hands, I couldn't hold certain sizes of cups because my skin was so irritated that any movement would break the skin more. It was really difficult to do anything. That's also why I didn't try to play the guitar back then, because it was just too hard for my hands. I couldn't do it, so I had to do the ukulele, and I actually liked it. And I thought, oh, this is easier. There's only 4 chords. Still troublesome for me, but with the guitar, I just couldn't even do it. It was just too painful, and the skin would break with every movement. So, and then you'll start, bleeding or oozing again. It's really painful and gross to look at for anyone who doesn't have it, especially. They think you have the plague. No, it's just psoriasis. It's not contagious. It just looks like shit, and it feels worse. But that's all, lymphatic system, right? Like if you clean your lymphatic system, which is the sewage of our body, really, then you don't have skin issues anymore. Your skin is our 3rd kidney, so when our lymphatic system is clogged for whatever reason, usually stress and crap food that we eat, then the skin can also start showing, like some people get pimples and some people get eczema, psoriasis, rosacea is another one that is really crappy. But yeah, so they tried to give me this hormone cream back then because, of course, if you go to Western poop care, pharma sub-doctors, as I call them, they treat, they don't cure, right? That's their motto. Money is in treating, not curing, guys. And so they actually, used to teach this at QBC, so I had friends who studied medicine, and then when they realized what it was about, and they were like, oh, you were saying the truth. I'm like, why would I lie? I'm not making trillions of dollars off of this. Why would I lie? I've been one of the victims who suffered for years because of the shit they did, and they just left the world. They were like, I don't want to do this. I wanted to be a doctor to help people, not to help them get sicker, so they can be treated their whole life, right? Exactly. And since the body heals when you're in a state of relaxation, relax yourselves, guys. The best way is to actually tap. That's why I have that tapping video going, because it helps. So when I'm sick, I don't ever take any Western pharmacare sub-medicines. I always use natural stuff. I use tapping, and it just passes. This acidity needs to leave our body usually when we're not feeling well. And when you're always triggered or you had trauma and it's, you're going on a loop, acidity is part of the deal, because when we are stressed in flight or fight, we excrete stress hormones and they are acidic in nature. And that's why we become overly acidic. Plus, if you're non-vegan, your diet is completely wrong because human beings are fruitarian. We're not omnivores, it's all a lie, and real scientists have shown this. So we tend to go in over acidity when we are triggered, and on top of it we eat crackers. So it's a combination. And if your mom, you know, when she was pregnant, was in acidity, so if, like my mom, you know, they had serious health, a serious money issue, and yeah, she always had health issues her whole life too. Because my grandma went through 2 wars, and when my mom was in her belly, you know, they were going through the Second World War still, and when she was pregnant with my mom, she didn't even know if my grandpa was still alive, because he was in the military and he had to hide from the partisans. My grandpa was in the forestry, so they were planting trees and minding for trees, but you know, any military for the partisans was their enemy, so he had to hide for months and months, and of course, I mean, the war itself was horrible, and you know, so she had a lot of stress, my grandma. She didn't have enough food to eat. They were living off polenta and blueberries for months, and the blueberries saved them because if it was just for the polenta, they get this skin disease called pellagra. I don't know how to say it in English, but it's basically your skin is scurvy maybe. It's you know, you're lacking vitamin C's and vitamins, and your skin, you know, we need vitamins and minerals. So later on in her life, my grandma hated blueberries because of it. And of course my mom, you know, she was born with a lot of health issues because, you know, just the stress in itself, it's intergenerational. And, you know, I got some of it myself, so I grew up around my grandma a lot, so I'm sure I absorbed a lot of stuff from her. Involuntary, because, you know, she'll tell me all kinds of stories, not realizing that children are very impressionable, and so it's not a good idea to do so. And I remember feeling so sorry for them, you know. As a kid, I was always very empathic, and I would always try to find solutions because I'm a problem solver. Bitching by itself is not useful. If you bitch and find a solution, but that's why I tap, because if you just complain about stuff, you're reinforcing the problem. But if you tap as you complain, you're actually processing those feelings and you find a solution, because you go back from being triggered to actually being centered and rational for real. As our left side of the brain is fear-based logic when it's not connected to the heart center, and the right side, because you can only see what you can see. It's like a calculator, you know, if you input certain data, it can still give you rational answers, but they're fear-based rational answers, or in, you know, the calculator case, it could be just, you know, an impossible answer, like, you know, you have 11 apples, you eat 13, you're left with minus 2 apples. But you know, in reality that doesn't happen, right? It makes no sense, but it makes sense mathematically. So it's the same thing with the brain. When it's fear-based, you know, you're not connected to your heart center, and you only see, you know, the little things, the survival. And that's why a lot of people are stuck, because they think the left side of the brain is the most important, because school has, you know, brainwashed everybody to think that, but it's really not the case. Neuroscience. It's really interesting. To me, anyway. I don't know how it could not be interesting to everybody, to be honest. It regards all of us. But hey, whatever. We can't all be interested in. What I like today in the stream in All Music Considered, they were again on the first page on Twitch, and so, you know, there were a lot of people coming in and stuff. But what I liked about it was there were so many more people today saying, "Oh, I'm so glad there is wholesome content. I'm so glad there is not another hot tub stream, another of that garbage that you see, the various amaranth wannabes. And it's just, yeah, it's so disarming to me sometimes when I see all these shitty streamers having thousands of viewers. And you go in their stream and you think to yourself, why are there so many people watching these bozos? Seriously, they don't bring anything good to the freaking table, really. Like, I just don't understand how there can be so many thousands of people watching that crap. I mean, what has the youth become, you think, right? But then you realize there's lots of people my age who watch that shit too. It's pretty pathetic, actually. So they watch these 20-year-olds who are, literally could be their child, and they get all horny by watching these stupid freaking people. And I think to myself, you're young, like right now we have everything at our fingertips. You can learn anything online pretty much. Why are they still doing stuff that Marilyn Monroe was forced to do, basically? Because, as a monarch slave, as she was, she came from a shitty situation. She was abused her whole life, and that's why she became the hoe of the Kennedys. Like, if you don't know, she slept around with all of them, because they were bouncing her around like a puppet. And she wasn't happy at all, and she wasn't stupid. And she had a pretty high IQ, actually. But when I look at people, owing at her, I think she was a role model for a freaking train wreck, man. That's what she was. I don't know how any sane man could be interested in her, because she was so emotionally stunted and so broken by all the stuff she went through. And she was abused. And to this day, there's so many people worshipping her, not realizing that all they're worshipping is emotional, physical, sexual abuse, all rolled into one. And I'm sorry, I don't find her that beautiful myself. I don't really find silicone and fake blonde and all that shit attractive, but that's just me. So when I looked at her, I was like, yeah, you were cuter before you did all that work, before you put in the fake chin and all that, in my opinion. With your imperfections, that was you, right? Like, to me, those are traits, they're not imperfections. And see, like, when I look at people like Amaranth, that's all I can see. I can see just someone who is like a Marilyn Monroe wannabe. Yeah, you got millions of dollars by doing erotica and porn and doing all the stupid shit you did. But you don't look very happy as much as you try and come across as happy. And you're not using your money for doing good in the world, because what did she do? She bought a 7-Eleven and she's proud of it. So you bought into the slavery system. Compliments, I look at these people and I think, wow, like you had all kinds of chances in your life to actually change things for women, and what did you choose? To do something that was used to abuse, not just women, because there's lots of men and children who are being abused. They're just not talked about as much, In fact, a lot of men are really like abused big time, and it's never talked about, for example. There's a lot more help out there for women than there is for men. And, it's sad to watch the whole thing for me. When I look at it, I think, even in my time, women were treated like lesser beings. It's the truth. And not everywhere in Italy, but in most places, I would say women were treated worse than men. Yes, no doubt. But in the same time, it's like a lot of it is because of women doing it to women. It's not because of men. That's why I don't stand by any of that shit, because to me it's just a perpetration of more of what's wrong in the world. If they really did it because they wanted to do it, they would be happy about it, they would own it, they would actually, not try and say, oh, I'm a persona when I play that. No, you're not. That's you, man. Like, say what you want, but I've tried to do ear licking, and I did it for a month because I wanted to prove that anybody at any age could do this. It doesn't take a genius. And it was the only time my stream grew exponentially. It was the only time, like, people like Pay Money Wubby, wasn't there. I didn't even know who he was, actually. And he was like, oh, I'll promote you. I'm like, oh, don't, because, I was literally just playing a part. I wasn't going to continue doing that content. I just wanted to show that anybody can do it. And I wasn't doing it as vulgarly as some of them, but I had to literally psych myself every day to get to do it. I was like, come on, you can do it. It's so gross. it's if I'm looking for porn, I'll go look for porn, and I don't look for ASMR as a substitute. Yeah, let me do some ear licking and do it very vulgarly, and suggestively. But I promise, it's very wholesome. It's gross. But that's the only thing that sells about sex and bullshit. Because even all these great musicians, and some of them are just amazing, they struggle to get people in, and they have a tiny percentage. Pretty sad. Yep. I even had this dude who donated a bunch of subs and stuff, and he was like, oh, I'm trying to help, And he was a fan of Emirates as well, right? And he was like, oh, let's not badmouth, millionaires. I'm like, we're not bad-mouthing anyone. We're not saying anything that is not correct and truthful. These people made shit ton of money with sex and sexual content. Oh, it has been done before so many times. It's nothing new. They're not invented. They're just riding a wave, and then in the same time they try and clean their image by saying, oh, but I'm wholesome. If you go on their stream, some of them have the guts to go, oh, this is so wholesome. And you look at them and go, you mean wholesome, not wholesome, right? You know the meaning of wholesome, actually? No, it's insane. It's just so crazy, So we've gone from one side to the other now, where now women are pushing that shit. And they call that female empowerment. That's not empowerment, people. That's sad. It's really, really sad. And you're teaching the younger generations of women that they have to look like Barbie dolls, which is not a normal look for a woman. And silicone and doing all that shit to your face, like they put kilos of makeup on their faces. It's like, is that beauty? Beauty to me is get up in the morning, wash your face and go, man. Not spending 3 hours redoing your face and making it look like completely different, because if you take that makeup off, they look so different. And it's not healthy. I'm sorry. What you put on your skin is absorbed inside of your body. Like, do they not get it? No. Yep. I tell you, when I look at it, I think I am really different than most of you guys. No wonder. But I was always this way. When I was younger, I put a little bit of makeup on my face because I looked so young otherwise that, I looked way too young, and I was tired of being treated like a child, and I was far from it. But I haven't used makeup since I moved to Canada, actually, in 25 years. And the few boyfriends, when I had boyfriends, they'll tell me, please don't put makeup on. They don't like it. The few times I actually put makeup on, they're like, no, I don't like it. Good, because I really just spending so much time having to do stuff like that. But my skin doesn't like it, that's why I always have to use natural products if I put stuff on, and even those would irritate my skin sometimes. So, yeah, I really don't. I like when, for example, okay, Sandy from All Music Consider, she was talking about it one day. She was like, oh, I'm used to putting the red lipstick on. But she's blonde and she has really fair skin and it looks really good on her. And it's not like she takes care of herself. It's obvious, but she's not like putting all this stuff on that makes you look completely different, like a mask. You know, there's a difference. Light makeup is actually better anyway. If you don't see the makeup is there, it's done properly. Oh, like when they do their eyebrows, for example, I never understood that. I get it, not everybody has nice eyebrows, where nice, quote unquote, what they consider nice anyway. I think they're all nice. Whatever you get is good. Go for it. You got it, you got it. But some people, you know, want to have those eyebrows that are all well designed and stuff, you know, and so they draw them on. And I always find them so stupid because it's like, you can see it's drawn on. It's not like a well done tattoo where, you know, some tattoos you can't tell. It looks like real there. No, you can tell it's not your real eyebrow. How is that? Like, I can't stand it. I never understood how people can find that beautiful. And they all do it. It's so crazy to me. Yeah, let me extend my eyebrows and paint, body paint on my face. No thanks. But whatever, you know. To each their own. I just think people are not used to loving themselves for who they are. And then the other thing I can't stand, like if you ever go in streams like AMBIENCE, you see all these groupies, you know, oh, she's so perfect. I'm like, how is she perfect? She has fake boobs. She put on tons of makeup. She's far from perfect, and I can easily break it down for you all if you need it. But she's cuter when she's actually her without all the makeup on. I think she's cuter. But for some reason, these people think that, you know, putting a persona and looking, it's like Marilyn Monroe, right? She always wanted to change who she was because she didn't like her face and stuff, but it was just a reflection of her not loving herself because she wasn't loved as a child. She didn't have a family that was stable because her mom was put in a crazy home and in a mental health hospital, and she probably wasn't crazy, but you know, they did that to people so that children were exposed and could be used like monarch slaves. And that's what she went through. And then she was put on these crazy pills, which if you go and actually read the real literature on what those pills really do to your brain, they're far from helpful, and they actually cause more issues than help. And there's lots of real doctors who have shown this over and over with actual science. But, you know, the proof is also in the pudding. Have you ever seen one of those people who pop these pills do better? Most of the people I met in my life who keep defending them, they actually are druggies. They smoke, they drink, they are non-vegan, they eat all kinds of crap, they do all kinds of crap. But somehow they think those pills have helped them. And so I look at them and go, really? Because I don't do any of that, and I haven't taken any of that shit for forever. And the only time I took that stuff, I still wanted to jump off. And I actually felt worse, and I couldn't eat. That's what changed for me. That's when I stopped eating completely for 3 months. And I lost so much weight. And now, when I get too skinny, my brain kicks in a mode where it's like, you gotta eat. So it actually created more problems for me in the long run to resolve. So when I look at people, I think to myself, are you like demented, or you just want to believe lies because, you know, you just want to get your freaking monthly paycheck by being a guinea pig for these losers? I don't get it. I really don't understand their mentality, you know. I guess there is none, it's just more brainwashing than anything else. But I met so many people in my life like that. You know, when they get a paycheck for their so-called illness, oh, they'll do anything to protect that shit. It's really, really brainwashing works. But yeah, so not to mention you can overdose on that stuff and die, but you know, yeah. I promise you, it's completely safe, guys. It's as safe as those mushrooms, you know, what are they called in English? The red ones, very poisonous ones. It's as safe as that. Or like some people call them magic mushrooms. They're a slightly different kind, but they're still toxic like that. No thanks. I don't care if other people want to do stuff, like, you know, as long as you don't bother others, do what you want. The only time they gave me magic mushrooms without telling me, I broke out in psoriasis. It was so bad. I didn't get any other effect. I was like, well, I guess it doesn't really work on me other than, you know, psoriasis. Yay! I got a migraine and psoriasis, and yeah, it was fun time, man. So then my friends at that point were like, oh yeah, I said to them, you know why I am difficult with food and I need certain things is because I get really sick otherwise. And then when I went vegan, I just stopped eating out or with other people, and I would always have to double check because sometimes they think, you know, you're just making shit up. It's like, no, why would I do it? To make myself interesting. It's not interesting, it's pain in the ass to most people when you have allergies and they have to cook for you. It's like such a pain in the butt. But yeah. Oh, I made everybody run away with my blabber chatting and bullshit, eh? They're all gone, guys. Oh, I'm sorry I made you all run away, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is really weird. That's okay. It was fun while it lasted. To pretend I had someone there. It's amazing though. Chat for an hour, over an hour. I do have some work to do, so I may just go and do that. I feel like I have a whole day or... And it's only 12 here. It's super early. Well, at least it's not cold like last year. I really can't stand the cold. I'll take the rain over the cold. Any day. Oh, this was a good one. Motivation, Al Doc. So it's this dude, he's pretty funny. He put this quote. Let's see where it came from. But he goes, demonstrate love by giving it unconditionally to yourself. And as you do, you will attract others into your life who will love you without conditions. Yes, indeed. But they never tell you already how to do it, because if you say something like this to someone who was abused, they'll go, as a child, they won't know how to give themselves a love, because what they learn is loathing and whatever else. So this can be a double-edged sword, where you could actually hurt someone even more when you say something like this to them and they don't know how to do it, because then they feel broken. It's like, oh, I can't even give myself love. It's like, it's not your fault, you just learned wrong processes. But if you do this while tapping and telling them, then yeah, they'll be able to do it. That's the difference. That's why I love tapping so much. Or, you know, like this, don't waste your time looking back at what you lost. Move on. Life is not meant to be traveled backwards. Yeah, but our brain is built to do that. Our brain is built for survival, our reptile brain, to always look at problems. And that's why we keep going in a circle on problems when they're unresolved. And if you tap, then all this advice, that makes sense. But if you don't tap, and you listen to this, you won't be able to do it. Most people cannot do it. And it's not because they're not special. It's like the people who can do it is because they have, their brain is wired in a way that allows them to actually process things just with words and in our brain. Well, most people cannot do it because the brain is not wired that way. So it's not a fault. And those few people who actually are able to do this, and this is the science has shown it, that, you know, it's because they had someone showing them some kind of self-love, some kind of good behavior, good processes. So if as a kid you've been around people who just hated you or hated themselves, of course that's your process. That's how, you know, it takes time to change that if you don't tap. A lot of times it doesn't. So those quotes are great, but not for people who don't tap and who don't know how the brain works. They're just actually going to create more of a split inside of them. Unfortunately. Because once your brain logically understands stuff, but then you can't follow through, inside of you it creates a split where you further start thinking that there's something wrong with you, and maybe it's true that you don't deserve love, that you don't deserve. So it actually hurts you more over time. That's why when I talk to people, I always tell them, tap on it. You know, bitch about stuff as much as you want, but tap while you do it. Because that's going to be the game changer. But I'm a nobody, so why would they listen to me, right? Let's keep listening to the notorious liars who made trillions of dollars off of selling you something that wasn't even real. The truth about burning calories. They always have some more bullshit. I have pictures of her from years back. Maybe those. Who's she? I grew up with cats. My roommate is allergic to cats, and I love dogs as well. But I grew up with cats. When I was 26, I got my first dog, Grappa. Akita German Shepherd. She was quite a handful. She was so loyal. Best bodyguard in town. Yep. I really love cats, and I had mice, even we had miniature mice. Now I just have them in the house. They chew everything. Every now and then they like to chew my Mike's wires too. Yeah, expensive Mike's wires. I lost 4. I lost 5 wires in the last month now. Yep, I'm not joking, guys. I had lots of backup, and now my backup is all gone. It sucks. And I had to buy one to make my system work because, yeah, so lots of fun. What are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do about it? Anyway, I'm gonna stop chatting, even though I mean it's just chatting. Oh shit. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day, guys. I think I'm gonna stop streaming and I'll probably get off the computer too. So I'm pretty much done today. Alright. It's wonderful and fruitless as usual.